Hey, hi everyone. Good evening, all of you. Can anyone confirm? Am I audible properly?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay,
Good,
thanks.
good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, so welcome to the PDSA course September term 2023. So today is the first session, open session for the week one. But week one, you have already watched the video and see the content. So in week one, we are discussing some Python things which you have already learned in the Python course. So I hope this week is not difficult for you. So we are just revising some concepts, and Sir has also introduced the why the efficiency matters actually for this course. So that is the basic idea of this course. So before starting the session, if you have any specific question for the course, you can ask in the starting.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Prachi, go ahead.
In this course, we have to learn how to code also.
Yeah,
Or
definitely. So in this course, we are learning actually algorithms, standard algorithms, which is actually developed to optimize some task. Okay. So using that algorithms, we will also just solve some programming problems. So where we can see that how we can use these problems in the real life problems. Okay. So coding is also a part of this course.
okay.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
all weeks contain the coding part or some specific weeks are there?
No, all week you can just think that all week have coding component. I think the last week, week 11, is not contain the coding component.
Okay.
Yeah, apart from that, week 1 to week 10 all have coding component.
Okay.
Okay, I'll also give some idea of the week contents. Okay, any other query?
No,
Okay, Prachi. Yeah, any other?
Yes, sir. Actually, I want to ask if completing this course would make us equally eligible to sit in interviews of normal software companies.
Yeah, definitely. So this is the course actually which generally asked in the interview or entry level for any company. So some company actually conduct some coding exam before the selections. Okay. So in the coding exam, you will find out some the problems which are actually based on that DSA concepts. Okay, and
Okay.
also interview these type of algorithms, efficiency based questions, data structure based questions generally asked in the interview for the development
Okay,
profile.
sir.
Okay, so this course is very much important with respect to this interview and selection process.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Anna. Yeah, Anmol.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir. So I have a general query, sir. Sir, I want to ask what is the general way to or the ideal way to move with this course, sir?
Yeah, definitely. So this is good question. So basically, this is algorithm course. Okay, so this is also a little bit heavy course compared to the others course because you have to give your logical thinking to understand this course, and so the way of learning this course is basically first learn. So totally, you will learn approx 40 to 50 algorithms during the course, and so before starting to solve the problems and solve the assignments, first thing is understand of algorithms. Okay, so for the every week content, so main content will start from the week 2. So you will see the sorting algorithm, searching algorithm. So first thing is the understanding of the algorithms. Okay, so first just see the algorithms steps, see the code, and just understand the steps. Okay, after understanding the steps, just apply the dry run on that algorithms. Okay, that just take a pen and paper and just take some inputs on the algorithms, not on the code. I'm not asking talking about the codes. Okay, implementation. I'm just talking about the algorithms steps. Just apply the dry run, just give some input and just check what happening during the steps of algorithms, how the algorithms actually returning the output, how the algorithms is processing the input to the output. So first understand the algorithms and apply the dry run using pen and paper. Then implement your code for that algorithms by yourself. Okay. You can see the implementation which we are providing in the lectures and the GitHub notes and the PPT slides, everywhere the implementation are available. But see that implementation if you are not able to implement the code. Okay, so this is the first step to learn the algorithms. Okay, not to try to learn the code, just understand the algorithm. During understanding the algorithm, you will also find out some some specific points which can be asked in the exam. Okay, then after that, once you understand the algorithms and once you have done the implementation by your own, then try to solve the questions and just try to solve all the programming question as well. Okay, if you have enough time, you can also go on the competitive platforms and you can search the problems which are actually based on the weekly content. Suppose you are learning the week 2. Okay, so sorting algorithms or searching algorithms. So now you can just filter the problems which are actually based on this searching and sorting, and just try to solve that also. We are also providing approx 10 or 9 programming problems every week. So 2 we are providing in the practice programming, 3 we are providing in the graded programming, and 4 or 5 we will provide in the live coding session. Okay, so every week you will get approx 9-10 problems on the weekly content. So apart from that, you can also give your just effort on the competitive platforms if you have enough time. Okay, so this is not mandatory. Those who are very new in this programming and not efficient in the programming, just solve the assignments which we are providing. Okay, so these are the things actually you need to focus during the course. Yeah, so is it fine? Yeah, Anmol, thanks. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Shreya girl.
Sir, I wanted to ask that is this a general discussion session or the concept will be cleared here?
So after the discussion, we will also take the concept which actually covered in the week 1. This is basically Python recap. If you have any specific doubt, we will also take. Okay.
जैसे कि बीज होता है
Okay, sir.
बीज से
Okay. Yes. Yeah, Arnav Mehta.
Yes, sir. I want to again ask if it's the better way to maintain a notes notebook, or is it better to write?
Definitely, you should create your own notes. You can create a copy, separate copy for this course. So that is actually very good things to learn this course.
So,
Just
sir, for
not read the
every
things.
code we write, we must first hard code, like write it on notebook, then write it on computer.
I'm not talking about the code. I'm just talking about the steps of algorithm. Just
Okay.
write the steps in the English language, okay?
Yes.
And just understand the what happening during the in the algorithms actually. Okay,
Okay.
how the algorithms actually transforming the input from to the output. Just
Okay.
understand these things. What steps actually performing. Once you understand the steps, then you can implement the algorithms by your own. Otherwise, you cannot remember all 50-40 algorithms in the last of the course. In the
Yes.
exam, you cannot remember
Yes.
all the
sir.
course. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is the way to learn this course. Okay. Yeah, Prateek.
Sir, in the grading document, there's something called as auto-graded assignment. What is that? Could you?
Auto-graded assignments means that GRPAs and PPH, which you can see on the portal.
Okay, it's the same GRPS. Okay, okay.
That's
Fine.
you can just submit the code. You can see how many test cases are passed. If all the private test cases are passed, you will get all full marks.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
so marks are associated with the private test case,
Okay.
not the public.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay, so these are the auto-graded. Okay. Yeah, Ankit.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ankit.
So my doubt is just like when we see some type of problem that is related to algorithm or programming, sometimes we get stuck. And how frequently should we work on ideas itself, and how rapidly should we approach the solution itself?
Okay. So first things, how much time you have already give in the programming area? So this is the first time you are learning programming. or you have
For the
already?
Python, sir, for Python code, Python introduction to Python, I scored quite good, one of the best, I will
Yes,
say.
yes,
But
yes.
when I see some of the questions for this PDSA or on the
Huh.
this Code Chef and so on, I get stuck somewhere, and I don't know how much I should wait and see the
So
solutions.
have you learned this algorithms before anywhere?
No, sir. Sir, I'm new to CS.
Okay, okay. So one things actually, if you are directly jumping on the competitive platforms, actually, the all the problems are available in the random form. So any problems can be based on any particular algorithms like graph algorithms or any binary search algorithms. Okay. So because of that, I am saying that if you are learning the weekly, so PDS actually these algorithms we are learning in the course are very important for the competitive platforms. So many of the problems actually developed based on that algorithms. Okay, so if you are
Okay, sir.
learning the weekly contents, okay, so suppose if you are learning sorting algorithms in the week one, searching algorithm in the week ones, then just filter the problem which are based on the sorting and searching initially. That just start with these things. After completion of the complete course, then you can directly jump the competitive platforms and you can try to solve. Okay,
Okay.
so
So
Python.
sometimes like for the approach of merge sort or that is insertion sort or so that I studied a bit advanced. A challenge that I face like my code was a bit different from what Professor did, but the result for popping up. So I was not able to exactly define that what were the trade-offs
Yeah,
of the
okay, so
code.
that
Means
is not the case actually. If you are following the same algorithms, if your implementation is different, there's no problem.
okay, sir.
Okay, so don't try to write the same exact code. Python provides the
Okay.
many things which we can write the code in the different way. Okay, so but what are the main things is if merge sort is providing the solution in n log n time, so many of you are not aware of this n log n things. So if you know the time complexity, so if merge sort is providing the solution in n log n time, so your code should also be follow the same things. Your code should also be providing the solution in n log n time.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. So, one thing, one more thing, like how much is the algorithm dependent upon this data structure itself? To what extent? Is it
huh.
like language dependent or is
No,
it just something universal?
yeah, data structure actually this is the this course is actually combination of two-part data structure and plus algorithms. Okay, so some
Okay, sir.
algorithms are actually dependent on the data structure, so like graph algorithms. Okay, so if you are learning this BFS GFS algorithms, so that algorithms are dependent on the graph. Okay, so you should know how the data structure is developed first, then supported algorithms on that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so like tree, if you are learning tree data structure, so you should know what are the algorithms which can be supported, which on supported on the tree data structure. Like if you are performing stack and queue, so what algorithms we can perform the stack and queue. So first thing is the data structure, and second thing is the algorithms which are supported by these data structure. Apart from that, some strategies also there in the last of the course, so from week 7, 8, 9. So these are some greedy approach, divide and conquer approach, dynamic programming approach. So these are some strategy to design the algorithms. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so we will
Okay,
learn
thanks,
all
sir.
both the things. We will also learn the data structure first, all the data structure, basic data structure first. Then we will learn the algorithm design strategy.
Means all over the course we have to focus more on the ideas of the means what are the core ideas of the algorithm, and then we have to work out for their implementation.
Yeah,
So,
implementation is also part of this course.
so one thing that I studied somewhere is like there is some mathematical parameters to check whether the algorithm is always producing correct or what are the is there specific ways to identify the boundary cases for an algorithm?
You are talking about the efficiency part or any corner
No,
case like this?
so for some of the like in introduction to Python,
Uh,
sometimes we have to check that means the boundary conditions are satisfied for like input.
Yeah, that things. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but for that aspect, as we didn't explore that point there, but sometimes our for a new type of input, like I went to this a
So,
practice assignment for the
Ankit,
week one.
Ankit, one thing, actually, there is no specific way to identify the corner case of the problem. So, problem can be anything. So, okay. So, first things, we have to understand the problems clearly. Okay. Then we have to figure out that what the corner case are possible.
Okay,
So,
sir.
there is no
Sir,
specific way to
sir,
identify the corner case.
let me discuss the specific doubt when we will be attending that. It was in practice assignment of week one itself. Somewhere.
Big one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sure. We'll come back. Come on that.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, Ankit. Okay, next is Shailendra Bikram Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Shailendra.
Sir, sir, I just request you kindly recommend a book to me because I believe in the self-study. And the lectures I'm not found satisfactory. Very means.
Okay, so some books
So if
reference is also
yes,
given.
that is very hard book. I'm a man of the humanities. I understand mathematics.
So I think
And what I
2 or
want.
3 books we have already given. 3 books we have given, I think.
Sir, I'm a government servant. Have found very little time. So
One more thing.
I
We are
request you
also.
kindly recommend me a book. Yes.
So 3 standards books reference we have already given. Another things slides we are providing, and we have already created this GitHub page where we have summarized all the algorithms, and we have.
Yes, sir.
That you are aware of this GitHub notes?
Yes. I'm aware.
So you can also follow that where we have already given the algorithms in stepwise. We have also embedded some visualizations to understand the algorithms. Then we have given the implementation. So all the summarized things we have mentioned in this GitHub page. So you can also follow that, and that GitHub page is actually created based on the contents, weekly contents.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can also follow that. Otherwise, 3 standards book are there, or you can also, if you want to go beyond of that, then you can go with the online resource. There are lots of online resources also available.
Okay, lot of books are there, but I have confused. So I request to kindly recommend one book for me.
One book, okay.
If possible, yes, sir. So that I'll study, and I found the course is not tough, but the thing is that.
Yeah, so this course actually demands some time from your side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
This is the first thing. So you have to,
Yes,
in compared to the other course, this course contents are
Sir.
heavy. You have to give more time
Yes,
compared
sir.
to the other course. Approx, I assume that if you are new to the course, in this first time you are learning this course, so you have to give approx 20 to 25 hours per week, maybe. So because of that,
actually I cleared the Python course.
Yeah. So Python is the prerequisite.
Foundation Python,
is the foundation thing.
Yes.
So that is
Yes, sir.
okay. So today I'll also discuss what things you have to revise before starting the main course contents. Okay. So that's
Yes, sir.
things we will also discuss.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Next is yeah, Muskan, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Muskan, go ahead.
Yes, sir. My question is which coding platform should we use? Like there are many.
There are many, yeah. So actually, if you are aware of this activity points, this is introduced in the diploma level. So these things actually initially we are not asking to move on the very difficult this competitive platform like this hackathon or hacker rank, that type of. So we are just suggested to the lead code if you want to go. So where and on the competitive platform, you can also select the easy level problem first. Okay, don't just try to solve the directly random problem. Just first filter the problems based on the topic, and then filter the problems that are easy level. Then just try to solve. Okay, and the otherwise.
Yes, sir. I was asking about coding platform. Like in in the lecture, sir has suggested about Zopita and
Okay,
Google
okay, okay.
Clam.
Coding platform. Okay,
ID,
Yeah.
I guess.
okay. ID you are asking. So that you
Yes.
can use any. I think Replit is fine. Okay, so you can use Replit. We will also conduct the live coding session on the Replit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir, there is one more concern. Uh,
Mhm.
in each Friday of every week, we have our live coding session from
Yes.
8 to 10, from 8 to 10, and at the same time from 8 to 9, I have another BDM live session. So, is
Huh?
there any way like,
So same Friday.
yeah, yes, the same on Friday, like 8 to 9.
Oh, so that we have to ask to the operation team. That classing should not be happen actually. So we will ask to the operation teams regarding this classing. So maybe they will change the timing of this BDM.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Devotam. So we will ask to the operational team regarding this BDM and PDSC classing. Okay, Friday. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sis.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, sir. You have said about the PDSA is comprised of both algorithms and data structures,
Yes.
and involving algorithms. So, will this course also more provide about how optimization the algorithm should be?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
because which algorithm should stop at has which optimizations. So, can this be cleared, sir? That's why I'm asking. Because
Yeah,
many problems are there about this optimization techniques more on algorithms.
yeah, correct. So we are just learning all these standard algorithms which provide the solution in the efficient way. So like if we are learning sorting algorithm, so we will start learning from the basic selection sort, insertion sort, which are actually taking n square time. But after that, we will also learn the merge sort and quick sort, which generally takes n log n times.
Okay, so definitely from scratch it will go to the optimization. Definitely
Yes.
also.
So in the second week, the that time complexity and space complexity, the two measure which are important, okay, for the efficiency, that will be discussed. After that, for each algorithms, we will learn how much time it is taking. So actually, you can see in the lecture also. So sir is also discussing first thing the naive approach, how much time the naive approach takes, and how much time the algorithms taking, which we are covering in the course.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, so that things will be covered. Okay, so yeah, Pranjal. Pranjal. Okay, Ranjan Swen. Sahadev Ranjan. You are not audible, Ranjan. No, no, your voice is not coming. Pranjal,
Sir, is it audible? Hello.
yeah, Pranjal, you are who is talking?
Sir Pranjal.
Yeah, Pranjal. So Pranjal, go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, I was having doubt within a
Hello,
practice
sir.
assignment. The question.
Yeah, Ranjan, just wait for 2 minutes. Okay, after Pranjal, I'll take.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Pranjal, go ahead.
Sir, I was having doubt with the practice assignment question.
Okay,
It's a passing only 4 cases, private cases, not all the cases.
Okay, okay, then I'll come on that. Okay, so after taking this, okay, yeah,
We are
Ranjan,
not
just
taking doubt today, sir.
yeah, we are taking out. Just take these query first, then we will start.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Ranjan.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I completed all the video lectures. After that, while I trying to do, also I go through the PPT slides and transcripts also. After that, while I trying to solve those uh, assignments of their coding assignments, I am
Coding
unable
assignment.
to solve those assignments. So, is it the right procedure that I followed? Anything anything else to
So,
change?
Ranjan, actually, you have completed the Python course.
Yeah, I have completed.
Yeah. So this first week problems are not based on any specific topic or algorithms which we are discussing in this course. So that are actually general problems which you have which you can solve based on the logic knowledge.
Okay.
There's no specific algorithms is required to solve this problem. So I think some problems are based on this primes and this thing twin prime, I think. So if you know the prime, then you can solve that problems. Okay, so there is no
Okay.
specific understanding is required to solve this problem. Only the logic things. If you able to find out the logic, you can solve the problems.
Okay.
Okay, so these problems are not based on any specific algorithms. So just try to solve. Just give some more time. Okay, think about the time. First, take paper and pen. Just figure out the logic. How you can come. How you can process the input to the output. Okay, on the paper and pen.
Okay.
Okay, just apply the dry run on the test case. Okay, on
Okay,
your
sir.
steps. Then just write the code.
Okay.
Don't try to write the code directly on the editor.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll.
Okay, so I think queries are done. No, any other query? There's no hands now. Okay, let me share my screen. Then we will take your doubts. Okay, so one thing, just I want to quickly go through the contents and the things which we will. So these are the basic contents you can see if you have already seen this GitHub notes. So you can see first week is the just Python recap and just introduction of the efficiency, and after that the second we have 10 week content after week 1. Okay, so week 2 to week 11. Okay, so total are 10. Yeah, 10. So week 2 to week 11, we have 10 week content. There is no content in the week 12. Okay, so that are actually that is summary week. Okay, in week 2 we are starting the main things of this PDSA course. First, we are learning what is the complexity and what are the complexity we generally calculate for the algorithms to compare the algorithms. So that we will learn, and after that we will start learning the basic searching and sorting algorithms. Okay, in week 2. Week 3 is also based on the data structure. So one sorting algorithm is not covered in the week 2, so that will be covered in the week 3. And after that we will learn the basic data structure. So data structure means Python. Actually, Python, you have already learned this data structure. So list, dictionary, you have already used many times in the Python. But we will understand that the implementation, internal implementation of this list and dictionary, how actually these are implementing internally, and what these data structure actually times. If we perform some operation on these data structure like list append operation, pop operations, so how much time this operation takes internally. So these type of things we will learn in this week 3. Also, we will also see one new data structure, linked list data structure. Okay, so that is actually user defined data structure. We can create, and there are some advantage of linked list data structure. So we will learn what are the advantage of this linked list. And hashing. So hashing is the technique which is generally used in the dictionary of the Python. Okay, so we will also learn this hashing techniques. And stack and queue, these are also user defined data structures. So we will also learn how we can implement this stack and queue. And some libraries is also available in the Python that directly provide the basic function of this stack and queue, this data structure. Okay, so these are some general data structure we will learn in the week 3. The next data, week 4, we will learn the basic algorithms of the graph. Okay, we will first understand what is the type of graph, what are the type, and I think you have already learned these graph basic things in the CT course, and I think math also. So these algorithms you have already learned, BFS, DFS, some basic idea you have. So we will learn again all these algorithms. So traversing algorithms, topological sort algorithm, longest path. So these basic algorithms we will learn in the week 4. And some standard algorithms, some advanced algorithms you will learn in the Beak 5 also. Okay, so the shortest path algorithms, spanning tree algorithms. So these are the two topics of will be covered in the Beak 5. So Beak 4 and Beak 5 are based on the graph. So the graph is also a data structure. Okay, so we are learning the algorithms which are actually based on this graph data structure. Next, Beak 6 is we will learn some efficient algorithm which we have already learned in the Beak 4 and Beak 5, how we can improve that algorithms with the help of different type of data structure. So this union find data structure, we will see that how we can improve previous algorithms using this new data structure, union find data structure. Apart from that, in Beak 6, we will also learn the basic tree data structure. Okay, so basic binary tree data structure, and heap data structure, and binary search tree. Okay, so that actually binary tree contains some property, so we call generally binary search tree. So these new data structure we will learn in the Beak 6 and related algorithms. Okay, so what algorithms we can perform with this tree data structure or heap data structure like this. After that, one AVL tree, actually this is also a part of binary search tree. Okay, so how we can balance the binary search tree. So there is one tree is AVL tree, actually that provides generally balanced binary search tree. So this is the one things. And after that we will learn greedy algorithm. So where from Beak 7, so these are three beaks, we will learn the algorithm design techniques. Okay, so greedy algorithms, so some example will be discussed based on the greedy algorithms in this Beak, divide and conquer algorithms, dynamic programming. So these Beak will be covered with the help of some example. Okay, so after that there's Beak 10. So in Beak 10 we will learn the string pattern matching algorithms. So how we can match the pattern, two patterns like, so if any text is given, we are searching some word in our documents. So how that operation actually perform in the efficient way. So what are the algorithms available to perform this pattern match, string or pattern matching task. Okay, so these things we will learn in the Beak 10, and Beak 11 is just give some idea of the problems classifications and one approach of the problem, linear programming, maximum flow, some basic idea of the advanced things. Okay, so these are the ending point of this PDSA course, but there is another course in the degree level, advanced algorithms. So you will start learning from this last topics, which we are just ending in the PDSA. You will start learning from this topic in the next advanced algorithms in the degree level. Okay, so these are the contents will be covered during this course, and quiz 1 will contain the syllabus from Beak 1 to 4, and quiz 2 will contain the syllabus from Beak 1 to 8, but mainly from Beak 5 to 8. Okay, so actually some topics are interrelated. So if you are learning the complexity in the Beak 2, so complexity will be used in the every week. Okay, so because of that, we generally said that the syllabus is Beak 1 to Beak 8 in quiz 2, but mainly the topics will be come from Beak 5 to 8. And after Beak 9, there is one OPP exam. Okay, if you are aware that there is one OPP exam in the PDSA, and that contains the 20% weightage of your score. Okay, so there is no separate passing criteria of that OPP exam. There are 2 dates for the OPP exams. So I think you can select, or maybe they will assign, the operation team will assign any one date. If you have any issue with your date, you can request to change the date. Okay, so on 2 dates you can select any one date for the exams. So 20% weightage is covered from this OPP exams. Okay, so OPP exam duration is 2 hours. There will be 4 problems during the this 2 hours. Okay, and there is no separate passing criteria. So okay, so just do this, just try to solve all the problems during the this 2 hours, all 4 problems. There is no choice. Okay, after that
so what's the syllabus for OPP in
yeah,
this
Beak
course?
1 to 9. Week 1 to 9 is the syllabus.
Oh, there is only one OPP in this.
Yes, one OPP exam.
Okay.
Okay, and then enter.
Is
Enter syllabus
OPP
is
conducted after quiz 2?
yes, after quiz 2. Okay, and end-term syllabus is complete syllabus, week 1 to week 11. Okay, and these are generally for the support of the course. We instruct. So I just not answer my name. So my name is Atul Pratap Singh. I'm the one of the instructor of this course, and another instructor are Karthik and Satnarayan. Two instructors are also there. So we will conduct 2 sessions every week. First session is the Wednesday session, that is open session, and another is Friday session, that is live coding session. So in the live coding session, we will release some problems during the live coding session, and we expected that you should solve all the problems during the live sessions. Okay, so maybe 4 or 5. So in the first week, I think the problems are so I think 8 problems are there. So but from week 2 onwards, I think 4 or 3 problems will be there. So just try to solve all the problems during the live coding session. Okay, so maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. So this live coding we are providing to practice for the OPP exam. Okay, because if you are not practicing in the timed manner, you will also face the difficulty during the OPP exam to complete all 4 problems. Okay, so just attend the live coding session also, and just try to solve all the problems during the live coding session, and that problems will be released on the Replit as well as the portal. Okay, so on the portal, that problems will be released after the session. Okay, but try to complete first on the Replit, and then after that, just again try to complete on the portal. So while we are giving on the 2 place, this is only for the practice. Okay, so the practice is the only key for the programming things. Okay, so you can improve your logical thinking and coding skills by the practice only. So because of that, we are providing a 2 place, 1 problem at the 2 place. So solve on the both place, and also the OPP exam will also conduct on the portals. Okay, so you should you should have enough practice on the portal also for the problems. Yeah, Mohammad Asif.
Yes, sir. So my question is like, I'm comfortable with Google Colab and Jupyter type of platform, and also Replit. But sometimes when I'm working, like I'm into office, so sometimes we require PyCharm or VS Studio. I have seen my roommate was working on that. I tried to install. So is there any reference where we can learn like how to set up these virtual a platform to use, where I can get information like, okay, PyCharm is best for doing this, and VS
So
Studio.
Y-West, you can use Replit. Okay, so Replit, there is no need to install anything. Just open the Replit on the online mode and just try to write the code directly. Okay, otherwise there are lots of resources available on the YouTube to install the PyCharm, install the VS Code, and that things, so that you can find the YouTube videos.
Okay.
Okay, so we are not focusing on the any specific editor in the course. Okay, so you can choose any editor, just use that editor, and also practice on the portal. Okay, so because the OPP exam will be conducted on the portal itself.
Okay.
Okay, so just try to write the code on the portal also. And one more request is that just try to solve all the assignment by your own. Okay, so the weightage of these assignments is only 10%. So don't try to just copy the solution from the other resource. Okay, so maybe you will get all 10 marks here, but less marks in the main exams. Okay, so we have also checked this data in our records. Those who have got 100% marks in the assignments but failed in the PDSA course. Okay, and those who got 60 or 70% marks in the assignment got good marks. Okay, so just try to solve all the assignment by your own, Okay, give full time to solve this and just discuss all the things in the sessions. And also we will conduct one more session, not one session, we will conduct maybe 4 or 5 sessions by the TA from the 1st October. Okay, one session will be specified for the practice programming problems. Okay, so one specific session we will schedule for the practice programming problems. Other session you can discuss anything in the TA sessions. Okay, so that one will be scheduled after 1st October.
So one more thing, like in this term, there is some personal tutor sessions. So who are selected as mentor in that sessions?
Which session? I am not getting. Can you repeat?
Like from this term, there is an option for personalized tutoring sessions from IITM
Oh, that
itself.
remedial type session.
That their naming is personalized tutoring sessions. I don't know specifics.
Okay, I know that. That is actually mentor sessions. So maybe one mentor will be assigned to the maximum 10 or 15 students. So that type of specific session is starting from these terms. If anyone wants to one-to-one type of learning, so they can register for that, and I think one mentor will be assigned.
So these mentors are the previous students or
Yeah, previous
who?
students. Yeah, previous students. And previous student that are actually have good marks in the course.
Okay.
Okay, so that is actually selected after interview. Okay, so these are the things we will follow in the course, and also utilize the discourse. Okay, so just ask the query on the discourse as well. Yeah, just see that very less query on the discourse. Yeah, Jalal.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Nasrin. So, sir, will the live coding session available after the class on the YouTube, like recorded class?
Yeah, recorded session will be available on the YouTube.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, and problems will be available on the Replit as well as the portal, both places.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, now comes to the questions. So yeah, can you tell me which problems? Anyone have any doubt?
PPA2.
PPA2, sir.
Okay.
My only 4 cases are passing. I don't know why.
Okay,
It's
so
the same here.
so can you share your code?
So,
Sir, I have shared in this Google link, this Word link in chat itself.
Okay, let me check.
I'm sharing it, sir.
This one.
Yes, sir.
So the below part is also there.
Sir, upload it and out only. The rest thing is tagged.
Okay, I will remove. So public are passed. Four out of 5 passed. Okay. So one more things, not in the first week, from week 2 onwards. Okay, so we are also checking the efficient code. Okay, so sometime things we are also checking with the solution. So maybe you will find some problems very easy with the Python course, but with the Python code, but maybe that will not pass the test case. Okay, but from the week 2 onwards, you will see that type of problems. So just try to write the efficient code from week 2 onwards. In week 1, we are not checking. Okay, so first thing, problems, debugging things actually. So so is valid function. Okay, so a plus b time is valid if two side is greater than third one. So first thing is the is valid. So this is the first condition: a, b, c, and b plus c is greater than c plus a is greater than b. Okay, return valid, otherwise invalid. Side classification and invalid. Then side classification condition is if the triangle is inverted, then return inverted, otherwise if all the sides are equal length. If any two sides are equal length, the third is different. All are different. Okay. So just I think to debug this type of code, just check each condition which is given in the problem statement. So maybe some place you are out of some condition. So side classification is valid. This is okay, condition 1. What is this? YouTube link. Let me 1 second. And send the chat. Yeah, so other can also see the code. If you find anything wrong in the code, okay, just you can just stop me. So condition 1 equal to 1 if self A equal to self B, else 0.
So in these three conditions, I'm just checking if the two sides are equal. If they are equal, I'm just assigning it to 1, else 0. And when CUN, I'm just summing up to get the number of sides that are equal.
Condition 3. So the way of writing this condition is very different. Okay, so condition 1 equal to 1 if self A equal to B, B equal to. So you are checking. Okay, so this is the first thing. Condition CON equal to 3. So first condition, what you are checking, condition equal to 3 if this and
if all the three sides are equal. Like A is
so
equal to B plus B
CON equal to 3 means this condition.
Means yeah, just I'm picking all the combination of the three sides like A, B, B, C, and C, A, and I'm just counting if two sides are equal, then I assign it to 1, and else 0. And in all the net conditions.
Which when I'm writing this CON equal to 3, so what condition is checking? Self C equal to self A, this one.
And if all the three conditions are, because CON will be only equal to 3 if all the three CON1 plus CO2, CON2 and CON3 are equal to 1.
Okay,
then only
you are adding all the three. So 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, so
yes.
if condition are 3, so all the condition are matched. Okay. Then this one. CON equal to 2. So how you are getting 2?
Sir, if any two sides are equal, that is unique now.
B and B equals,
yeah. Any of the three combination, if two sides are equal, then CON will be 2.
Equal to A. If any two sides are equal, so I think the value should come 1, no?
So what I am saying is we have three sides A, B, and C. I have paired this A, B, B, C, and C, A. I'm just counting the number of sides. Like if two sides are equal, I will assign the value 1. If
No, I'm just talking about in which case this 2 value is coming?
It's in isoslash in the problem statement itself.
So okay, so
if any two sides are equal, then the count will be 2. C1 will be 2.
I think
So
1
if
should
two
be
sides are equal, then count will be 1.
1, yeah, correct. Can you tell me how 2 can come if only 2 edges are same?
Oh no. Oh, that is 2 pairing will be same. My code is working when 2 pairings are same.
If 2 pairings are same, means all 3 sides are same.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, got it, sir. Third is different. Yeah, got it.
This is 1. Let me run. Okay, so this is the one problem. Pass.
Got it.
Okay.
That thing I was considering pair, but we're implementing something different.
Yeah. Okay. Any other code? Someone is.
Sir, can you see mine? Given the link of the Google Doc.
Okay.
Sir, go up.
I think Satnarayan sir, which answer you have mentioned in the chat?
Yes, Atul, actually, only change required is in the angle classification. Last case, one private case is missing, no? So, sorting has been done. Initially, like one list is created. Like, I hope you're finding that 3 coordinates of A, B, C is taken and they are sorted.
So, you are talking about the Pranjal code or which code?
Angle classification function, only the part of angle classification.
No, Pranjal code or actually 2 have asked.
Sir, I have shared just now.
No, just now somebody posted the code Pranjal. What's his name?
Yeah, Pranjal. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
only in the Pranjal code.
Okay.
So the part he needs to change only this part. Just
the angle classification.
So where it is, I think it would help us because maybe because of the performance, one sorting is done. I think so.
Okay, let me check.
Only that part. Remaining parts are fine. Only the function that is angle classification. Remaining all things works fine. No issues about it. Because the question is very clear when comparing even Pranjal and
so angle classification. Okay, so how you are calculating angle classifications? So actually, first thing is you have to find out the biggest value in all these things. So A, B, C.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the first thing.
I have did that, so just see my code.
Okay, let me check.
There will be total 6 cases for this.
So first case is if.
Yeah.
So why you are using the elif condition?
That's what elif is okay, but elif is something complex if condition. I think so.
Okay. So if triangle is invalid, then return invalid. Okay.
Then I'm using
elif. Okay. So in elif condition, you are using 3 elif condition. Okay.
6. So
there are lots of code.
Why to do it? Because it's a simple question. No? The question is very clear they have given. I hope this change maybe works. I don't know. Just can you paste it and do it?
Yeah, actually debugging is very difficult of this type of code. So there are lots of condition in every elif condition. Okay, just let me change this code with the Satnarayan code.
Only that function.
First I'm changing this. Okay, so let me check if this is not working then. still. So the problem is not in this.
Okay.
So okay, so now I'm assuming that this part is okay. Now let me check. Okay, I'm coming from the starting. Okay, so is valid is if a plus b is greater than, then b plus c is greater than a, then c plus b is written valid, otherwise invalid. Okay. Side classification, triangle is valid, invalid, return. Okay, so invalid, return invalid, otherwise. So that you are using if a equal to b and b equal to c, that is fine. If a equal to b, or b equal to c, or c equal to yes, okay. Else return this. So I think this is also okay. And
So in the side classification function, like if you see that else if condition, the second else if condition, if two conditions, even if two conditions A equal to B and B equal to C are passed, but the third condition, that is A, that is C equal to A, is not checked. That's why it is showing equilateral as I think.
no, so if how two condition can be passed? If two condition are passed, so that means first condition should also be passed. Okay, so if first this one is not true, that means all three are not same. In that case, if two are same, so that condition should be true, either this one or this one or this one. Okay, so one thing, we are directly using a equal to b and b equal to c. So can we use directly?
Sir, equilateral triangle and isosceles triangle are interchanging the condition.
How?
Like if a equals to b and b equals to c and c equals to a, then it is equilateral triangle, I think.
No, this is or condition.
Okay.
This is if so first condition is if a equal to b and b equal to c. So both condition are true, then output will be equilateral. So in this case, that means a equal to b and b equal to c.
Okay.
All of three are same. Okay, but we are using or condition here. That means either any condition is true. Okay, so if first elif part is not true, that means all three are not same. Then we are checking two combination. Okay, so these are looking fine. Another part which I am just looking at. What things is missing? Speaking valid. Why you are not using this self.a
Where, sir?
in the each method?
Sir, I have declared self.a is equal to a.
But you should use the self.a in the class.
Okay.
Okay, so these are some value which are passed to this object, this class object. Okay, so once the object is creating, self.a is assigning. So you should use the self.a every place. Okay, not directly this a and b and c. And apart from that, any small mistake is C plus A is greater than B in return valid. So I think we need some more level of debugging.
So in angle classification, we can make changes because there the ORs should be
Angle classification.
yeah. If you could, yeah. So this the else condition invalid right. Okay, yeah. In right case, so whichever is like the greatest side, that should be matched back with this right angle thing. Okay, and we are checking or yeah.
So what we are doing C equal to B, Y equal to
C
sign.
is greater than B.
Y
This
equal
means
to
condition, sir. Condition.
So Y equal you are using.
Sir, in the condition it was written like that. I think.
Where?
Yeah. For example, if A is less than is equal to B is less than is equal to C, then
Okay.
this.
So this should be happen. Okay. Okay, and C is greater than equal to A is greater than equal to B, or C is greater than equal to A. So if this first is okay, and this second, what is the second condition? This one. So this is the first condition, which is closing on here, or B is greater than A is greater than B, C is greater than A. Then you are including this one, or then right. That's the right equator is okay. And equal to right here. So I think can you post this code on the discourse?
Sir, I posted already. Will I share the link?
When you posted?
I think 2 days before.
Okay, then I have to debug Lionwheel and everything actually. So valid, invalid. So I have written this code in the here. So just take some easy example, easy input. Okay, so A, B, C. But
Sir, how can we simplify the angle one? It was very complicated for me also.
how so you can what you can do? You know the this max in the list. You can create a list, okay, and just put all these three values inside the list. Okay, so A, B, C. First change you can do is just convert all these A, B, C equal into a self dot A, self dot B like this. So this is not the correct way to write the class. We use the variable in the class variable. Okay. So first thing, just change these things, and after that, in this angle classification, just create a list. Okay, and put all these three values inside the list. You can simply create manually. So first element should be self dot A, second element should be self dot B, and third element should be self dot C. Okay. After that, just take a variable. You can just retrieve the max value. Okay, and take the max value in one variable and the remaining value in the another variable in the one. Okay, direct, and then directly use this simply if else if direct formula. No need to write all these combination in that way. Just figure out which value is the maximum in your in the list which contains the three value ABC. After that, just compare that maximum value with the two remaining value. The square is greater than, or square is smaller than, or square is equal to. Okay, so this debugging thing, I will just check on the discourse and we'll look. Okay, then we will revert back on the discourse. I don't know what is the actual mistake in this code. Okay, right now, maybe some very small mistakes are there. Okay, so we will check. We will revert back on the discourse. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Apart from that, any other question in this?
So can you give a bit information like how is Python different from rest of the languages? Because I'm new to CS, I don't have much of idea about these things.
Python is different from other languages.
Yeah, in which way, or means what are the trade-off if we are using Python or we are using Java or we are using C and this all things.
So these are the language actually which comes time to time. So, okay, so initially the things started from the C, then C++, then Java, then Python. Okay, so this language development is happening time to time. So some now the coming is R language, and or more languages are coming. But actually, initially start with of the data structure with the C language. Okay, and C is generally faster than the Python language. And Java is also faster than the Python language. So generally we call C as a middle level language, which is actually closer to the assembly language as well as the that is also a high level language. Okay, but not supported the these object oriented things. But this Python language is a high level language and supported the object oriented things. And also some changes is also there with the this interpreter language or this compile time. This C which we use for the compile things.
No.
But Python is the interpreter language that run actually line by line. Okay, so these are some common things. What actually you want to ask? So in our program, actually we are using Python. Because of that, in the data science field, there are lots of library and tools are there which are supported Python to just perform this operation related to the data science. Otherwise, you can choose any language. For the competitive platforms, mostly used before Python is actually C++. Okay, but now the Python is also using, because Python is easy in the syntax, but C and C++ is faster than Python. Because of that, these C and C++ is also used in the competitive platforms. Okay, so and the software development, so there are many languages. Java is also running from many years in the software development area. Python is also introduced in the development using the Flask and Django. And okay, and so you can choose any language. Okay, so just based on that, the things should be clear, concept should be clear. Data structure can be understand with the any language, so there is no problem with the language to understand the data structure course. Okay, so we are learning algorithms. We are using Python to implement that algorithm. So you can implement the same algorithms in the Java, in the C and C++, any language.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Ranjan.
Yeah, in PPA1, while I tried to solve it, at the last part, how to add the tuple into the list? I'm unable to. I am stuck in that part.
PPA1.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what you are asking in this question?
How to add tuples in a list and that type A and B. Yeah.
Tuple in list.
Yeah.
So you can simply append the tuple. I'm not getting the exact question. So tuple you can simply write. If I show you,
okay,
what is the problem? So A equal to list. Okay, so this is a list, and you can simply like 1, 2 like this.
No,
3, 4.
That's manually, but
so you can also do in the using
no.
the.
How can I create this tuple part in this problem?
Some input is given to you.
Yeah.
Okay, you need some input is given. Sorted twin primes n comma m.
Okay.
Okay. So what is asking? Let me check. Twin pair are the pairs of the prime numbers that differ by 2. For example, 3, 5, 5, 7, and 11, 13 are twin prime.
Yeah.
Okay. Let the function derive nm and the positive integer and n is less than n. The return all unique twin prime between m and n both inclusive. The function returns a list of tuples. Okay, so that things you are asking. So anytime if you, for example, you have empty list. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are just running one range like this for I in range.
Okay.
Okay. So 1 to n.
Yeah.
Okay. And during this, if you find any pair like, so I am just starting suppose I is a the twin prime. Okay. So and you want to add I comma I plus 2, like these two value in the A list. So you can simply write a dot append I comma I plus 1. I'm just writing I this
I plus 2. I plus 2.
I plus 2 you can. Okay. So this is the append function, or you can simply give the bracket inside this to understand well. Okay. So okay, so n is not given, sorry. So let me just give the n value. So n equal to like 10. Okay. Now print a, just see that what is coming. So print a. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can see all the tuples are coming.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so in that way you can just append the tuples inside. Yeah, Pranjal.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Pranjal just raised the hand.
If we take n equal to 12, then a tuple like 11, 13 will also come, right?
Yes. So just see that.
Yeah. Sir, I was asking that My oops part is not clear that much. Will
So regarding the oops part, Pranjal, we are not using any advanced oops part in the course. Simple class, what is class and how we create the class, okay, and how we create the constructor, and how we create the object, and how we write the method. Only that type of things.
So can
Very
you dive a bit about like execution, how Python sees a class, and does it execute when it sees a class first time? Does it execute the method itself? Does it execute the definition method itself? Like, can you visit a short note on that, please?
okay. You are asking about the class things, okay?
Sir,
Yes,
Just
sir.
my doubt is not clear
yeah,
yet
Lakshmi.
because
Yeah, Lakshmi.
uh,
Just
the uh, the twin prime should be in
uh,
range 1
yeah,
to n.
Lakshmi, this is not the solution of prime problem. This is just a give some idea how we can append the values as a tuple inside the list. So this is
Okay.
not the solution of the twin prime problems.
Okay.
Okay, you have to write the prime function for that. You have to check the value which is actually prime. If you find out the if I equal to prime, then you have to check the next value that okay, so that is prime or not. That type things that you have to include in this also. Okay, so this is just a basic idea to append the tuple in the list. This is not the solution. So Lakshmi, you are not able to solve this problem. Twin
Yes,
prime.
sir. I am getting error.
Okay. So can you send me the code? So regarding the class thing, so you know the syntax to create a class first thing. So we simply write the class and class name. Okay, so this is the first. I'm just writing that A. Okay, I'm coming on that. Okay, so ABC I'm giving. So after that, we can. So this is the class we are creating with the name of ABC. Okay, so after that, we can write some class variables, or we can define the object variable using the constructor. So one method actually which is always called when we create the object, that is called the constructor. So that init, and inside this so first parameter actually we generally use self. You can give any name. This self is actually a reference of the current object, which is current object or current instance which is created for this class. Okay, so you can give any name, but that should be the come at the first place in this init constructor. Okay, so this is a one method of the class which will always call when we create a object of this class. Okay, and we can pass any variables name for this class. So like we can pass the parameters. Okay, so how what parameter we want to pass. So suppose we are passing two parameters like name and age. Okay, so that value will be required to at the time of creation of the object of this class ABC. Okay, and now after getting these two value, we can assign this value in the instance variable. So we can simply like that self dot name equal to name. Okay, then self dot age equal to age. Okay, so these are the things, and we can write the different methods for the class. Suppose we want to write the display method. So like this def display, and we will pass the self reference inside this, and then we can simply print this name is and self dot name and print
So there should be a comma after, before the self-group name.
Yes. So age dot age. Okay. So what things are there? So this is the one class which we have created with the class name age. Sorry, ABC, and inside this we have created one method with the name of init. Okay. So this is called as a constructor, and this is this will be always called when we create the object. So how we can create the object for this class? So simply write the a equal to or like p1 person1 equal to, and give the name of class like ABC. Okay, and just pass two value which we have declared in the init, inside the init method. So that value we have to pass inside this. So suppose I'm giving one name like Amit and age. Okay, and any value like 25. So this one object is created. Okay, so now P1 and suppose I am created one another P2 equal to ABC and ABC and sorry. Raj and 30. Okay, so now two object is created using this class ABC. Okay, and P1 and P2. Suppose if you want to display the P1 P1 dot display. Okay, so this actually these two objects are different. Okay, so two different instance is created for these two object P1 and P2. Okay, so inside this when we are calling p1 dot display, so at that time the value which we have passed for the P1 Amit and 25, that will be displayed by this display method of the class. So this is generally a template, okay, which these objects are using. Okay, so you can simply write the p1 dot display, so you can see the value Amit and 25 is printing. If you change this P1 to P2, so that RAS and 30 will be printed. Okay, so that type of knowledge you should have, how we can create the class, how we can create the object of that class, and if we want to pass any parameters during the creation of the object inside the class, so how we declare that variables inside the class, and how we initialize that variable inside the class, and how we can write the method of the class. So that things is enough to for the PDSA course. We are not learning any higher things of the OOPS concept like inheritance or that polymorphism, like this type of things. Okay, so we will simply use that type of information, just create a class, create a methods, and then we will directly create the object. Yankit?
So, like, what is the scope of variable that we are declaring it? For definition, we definitely know that any variable declared within a definition of a function is within that function itself. After that, that is lost. But how does class deal with this? Like, if we are defining a variable count before the definition of init, and we decide to increment it inside the definition of init and same inside
so you are
the
saying
display.
the class variable.
Yeah, class variables, and what is the scope of that variable?
Yeah,
Can we
actually
this
this variables which we are creating inside the init with the self, so that are called as a object variables. Okay, so that are linked with the object. Okay, but we can also define the common variables for the all objects. So like we can declare one variable like count equal to 0 here. Okay, and then we can use this common variable during the all object creation. So suppose we want to just increment this count value when we are creating the object. Okay, so just increment this value when we are So just
Oh,
try
when
to
we are creating an instant of this object, like in init itself. But
instance of the class. Yes.
so in this thing, like one question is how we can assess this count variable if any at any point we want to say it. Second is when is the value of count in reinitialized? Do we run our program again, or do we restart our this terminal, or when?
1 second. So what you're ask? What question? Can you repeat once again?
Yeah, so one question is like how I can assess what is the current value of count, because
Current.
that is not bounded by, yeah,
Yes. So
because that is not bounded by any object, no? Yeah, that is
mhm.
instant.
Yes. So that is not. So actually, when we run this code, so that actually this part is also run. Okay, so this part is also run, and if you see, just write the print statement. Use the print statement like hello. Okay, and just use the comment here. I'm not creating any object. Let's see what's happening. You can see hello is printing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that class is actually running without creating any object. So, but all the things are initialized. So which we are creating here, we are creating count. So that count will be initialized with 0 without creating any object. But when we are creating any object, so that part will be run actually.
So one thing like Python, when it is running this class of class template, it just knows that where the init is, where the display is,
Yes.
and whenever we are creating, when we are calling a specific function, only
Yes.
then at that time that definition is executed.
Yeah, so definition part is executed initially. So okay, let's see. So that things you can also see. I'm writing print here now. Check hello 1. Let's see this that part is running or not. I think. So you can see that part is not running. But when we create the object, so that part will run.
Okay, sir. So means count is shared across all the instances.
Yes. So now just create the object and just see the what is the value of this abc.count. Okay. So print abc.count. So not count. Sorry. You can see 2 value. So this is the common class variable which is shared with the each object. When we are creating the object, so that value is incrementing by the 1. So in the previous value. Okay, so this is not created new for the each object. This is only a single variable which is created for the class. And this is shared by the each object. So these are called the class variable. Okay. This is class variable, this is class methods and class methods. And inside this, when we are creating this self.name, this is actually an instance variable, object variables. Okay. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, that level of class things is required for the PDSA. You will always find out the this type of definition of the class in the PDSA course in some implementation. Okay, so not we are not including any inheritance things in any code in the PDSA. Okay, so you should know what is class, how we can create the class, how we can define the member of class variables or class methods, how we can define the object variables, and how we can create the objects for that class. So that type of and that level of information is required for the PDS. Okay, so I think Lakshmi have asked one question in the Okay. So 5, 3, 5, 5, 7, 2 prime differ by 2. Okay. For example, so this is the things. Write a function to prime. So n and m are positive integer and n is less than m. That returns all the unique prime between m and n both inclusive. Okay. So what you are doing? Where is the prime function? Is prime definition? Lakshmi? That you have written this is prime. So where is the is prime definition? Have you written this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but it is not in the code. Okay.
The definition of is prime I have sent the chat.
Okay. Okay, so how you are checking this is prime? So you are using the same name of the function. Is prime, is prime. Can we change this name? Okay, it can create confusion. Is p, I'm writing is p equal to 2. Okay, so for what you are doing, so prime n comma m twin prime is the empty list, and for num in range of n comma m plus 1. Okay, this is fine. If is prime num and is num plus 2. Okay, if num is coming and num plus 2. Both are true, then you are appending twin prime. So twin prime dot append num and num plus 2.
So one thing that I noticed in this code is the range can just go up to m because it will go till m minus 1. So it is already considering this number plus 2 condition itself. No?
No, I
So we
think
need
both
to update
both.
this upper condition.
No, but we are including both, no?
No, we are including both, but we have to
Yeah, okay,
include
got
the
it.
both inclusives. So any prime number that is beyond m should not be included.
Got it, got it. Yeah. So actually we are running this n equal to m plus 1. Okay, so that should be minus 1. Minus 1, okay. Yeah. So if we are taking this n value and we are adding the num plus 1, num plus 2 is already. So that value actually num plus 2 will reach this m minus this m value last. Let me check. Oh, some unindent cannot match. It's line number 13. This none type object is not iterable. Print sorted. You are sorting this. Where you are sorting? Oh, the type. So, twin primes. Okay, you are not returning anything. 1 second. Return twin prime. Okay. Yeah. So this is the problem, Lakshmi. You got it.
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay, so if we are using this n value,
Mhm.
okay, this n value which we are taking as a num, so we are starting from range num to suppose we are starting from 2 to 15. Okay, and we are reading this value 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Here we are checking num. So suppose at the time when n equal this num equal to 13. Okay. So at the time we are also adding here num plus 2. So 13 plus 2 should be will reach at the 15 last point. In the before you used m plus 1. So in that case, if you are using this 14 and num equal to 14, so num equal to 14. Okay. So next, if we add this 2 value inside this, so we will get 16 also. But that if any time if we are finding that both 2 value are prime, but this 16 is coming out of range. Okay, so because of that we have to specify range in that way. So our second value in the tuple should not be crossed this range m.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, any other query? Any other question? Okay, tell me what you understand by this efficiency in the week 1. Anyone? Sir have explained different implementation to solve GCD and primes. So what you are getting?
Sir, in one case, it's looping over the each and every element. But in the recursion method, it's only taking 2 or 3 steps to cover that. So it is taking lesser time to solve the problem.
Yes, correct. Okay.
So one more question, like in some like when we are when I was using math library to solve this PPA2 thing, when I was not using the star symbol, that is for the multiplication symbol, for the area calculation. At that time, it was throwing some type of float error, a new type of error. And after means like from mathematics, we understand if there is a bracket, then by default it is multiplication. So,
Which symbol you are talking in this code?
so like, can you visit the PPA2?
PPA2. Okay, that okay, problem PPA2. Yes.
Just go to the code that we have done.
This one?
Yeah, in the area calculation, that area.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah, in this, if I use the math library, that math dot square root, and I don't write this star symbol between the brackets, then it was throwing an error.
So have you
Plot something.
math library before writing
Yeah,
the
I
code?
did. I did. It was showing like float objects were not integrable or something. I don't specifically remember at this point. I'm not having my laptop.
This code is actually not correct. Okay, let me calculate like this. Math dot QRT, and you are passing these two. First value, comma,
And I'm not using this star symbol between the brackets. That is multiplication symbol.
so why you not used? This is the multiplication.
Because they are the brackets now. By
No,
a
no, no, no,
bracket,
no, no. Oh, oh my God. So
that
that
thing I don't know in
multiplication.
mathematics.
Yeah. So in Python you cannot multiply in that way. So that is just a representation of the math in the equation where we can understand we are multiplying inside the bracket, but during writing the code, we have to pass some symbol, what operation we are performing. So
Okay.
in between the s and s minus a, you have to mention that multiplication symbol. Okay.
Okay. So for the brackets like this thing, it does not consider it multiplication
No, no,
if we
no,
are.
no, no. Okay, you have to pass the symbol.
Okay, but the brackets are used to prioritize the operations in Python.
Yes.
Like do this thing and then that, then that.
Yeah, correct. Otherwise, the problems will not come if you use this multiplication sign with the math dot square things. Okay, but this code is not correct actually.
Got it.
Okay, so Lakshmi is asking something. Lakshmi, what is your question? Could you explain class, object, etc. 1 second? Okay. So, Lakshmi, if you see this example, this is very basic example. First thing is what is the class? Actually, class is actually a blueprint of the object to define the object behaviors and to define the object characteristics. And we can also say this is just a template for the object behaviors. Okay, so we can define the class in that way. So this is the way to define the class. So class, just mention this keyword class and class name. Okay, you can pass any name of the class. So this is the first things. After that, you can assign any class variable. Okay, so this class variable which you are defining just after the class declaration or any outside of this init things. Okay, so that will be shared by the every object. That is actually common. Okay, variable which can be used by the any object and it will be shared. If we are updating in this variable in one object from one object, that will be visible to the another object also. So this is a class variable. To create an object or instance variable, object and instance are both same things. So you have to mention this constructor with the name of init. Okay, where the first variable which we are generally use the self name. Okay, so self is representing the reference of the current instance of the class. Okay, so if we are calling, suppose if we are calling this p1 abc, and after that we are just passing abc, sorry, this is different, p1 dot display. Okay, so you can see in this code we have created two objects for the same class. Okay, so abc class are the same for the both object p1 and p2. That means there are two instances created for the class. Okay, and we are using the same class template for both objects. So but when we are calling p1 dot display, okay, so the instance which is created for the p1, actually this self is referencing the all variables names and all the methods related to this p1 object. Okay, if we have created a object p1 equal to abc Amit and 25. Okay, so one separate template is created with the abc class where name is Amit and age is 25, and all the variable names and methods is actually related to this object p1. Okay, and another template is created with the same name for the p2, where the data is contained like Raj and 30. Okay, so where the in that template self is containing the reference of that p2 related data. Okay, so when we are writing p1 dot display, so only Amit and 25 will be visible in the output. Okay, so these are the things. So how many? So this init constructor is actually used to initialize something when we are creating some object. So we can pass any number of variables inside this init. So that information is required to at the time of creation of the object of this class. Okay, so here we declare this name age. So at the time of creation of the object, we have to pass these two value, name and age. Then inside this, if we remove this, inside this, we are, so here we are incrementing abc.count plus equal to 1. So this is a common variable for the class, and we are just incrementing count equal to 1 when we are creating the object. So that means when this init method will be called, that count will be increased by 1. Okay, so first time when we are creating the object p1, at that time this count will be incremented, and second time when we are creating this p2 object, at that time this count will be incremented. Okay, so because of that, this count will be incremented 2 times because 2 object is created. Okay, so this is the common variable which is shared by but this self.name, self.age is specific for the object p1. Okay, we cannot read this value from p2. So this Amit and 25, this cannot be accessed from the p2. Okay, so this is totally associated with p1 object. So these are called the self.name, self.age. These are actually called the instance or object variables. Okay, and similarly we can use these variables inside any method if we want to perform any specific operation in these variables or these object variables. So you can simply create a method similar to the function. We generally create the function. Okay, so inside the class we generally call this as a method, object method. So display we are passing, so this self is referring to the current instance of the class, and inside this we are passing self.name and anything. So you can write anything inside the method which you want to undo during the problems. Okay, so self.name, so you can use these variables in any place, any method, and you can call these method by the object name. With the object name, you can see p1.display. Okay, so we are just using the object name and .display. So this display is the method which is created for this object, and when we are calling this, so when we are passing, we are writing p1. Okay, so this display is actually performing for the p1. So the Amit and Raj will be displayed. Okay, when we write p2.display, so sorry, Amit 25, and when we write p2.display, so Raj 30 will be displayed. Okay, so in that way you can create a class. These are the class variable, these are the constructor. So this will be always be called at the when you create the object of the class. Okay, there is no need to call this method separately. You can see we are calling the separate p1.display. Okay, but we are not calling this p1.init like this. This is by default called when we are creating the object. Okay, so this is called as a constructor. Apart from that, you can write any number of methods for that object, and you can write your operations. So we have given one problem based on that PPA2. So just try to solve that, and you can see that how we can create the class, object, all these things.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So when going on this analysis of algorithms in this time and so, in that the mathematical concepts of analyzing, like for the recursion and so, are a bit new. Can you suggest some practice questions for them?
Regarding the calculation of the time or these things?
Yes, sir.
So that will be start from the week 2 onwards. So where we will discuss the basic things, how we generally calculate the complexity and how we represent the complexity. What are the way to represent the complexity? And after that, in week 8, we will also learn one method for the recursion tree. So for the recursive implementation, how we can calculate the complexity. So there is one thing, recursion tree we generally used to calculate the complexity for recursive implementation. Okay, so all these things will be start from the week 2 things. So first we will start from the basics. So how we can write the calculate the complexity for the basic code without any recursive call and simple. And after that, in week 8 we will learn the techniques for the recursive implementation. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, to understand the efficiency, so I think sir has discussed some basic idea. So like what we are actually learning in this course. So you know that if we are running any programs, so program is, what is the program is actually? Program is a just a set of instructions, okay, a sequence of instruction, we can say that. So that sequence of instruction are running by the processor, okay. And if we suppose if one instruction is taking some time, okay, so that time is generally happen in the nanosecond or that microsecond in that level, but we can assume like 1 unit for the for the each instructions. So suppose we are just assuming that 1 second is taking by the each instruction, okay, each line of the code is taking 1 second, okay. So this is the general thing for the assumption. So when we are running the code, so how many times each instruction is executing, okay. So if we calculate these things, this is for the basic things, okay. So maybe any problems can be solved by the more than one approach, okay. So how we can compare that different approach, which one is better, which one is taking less time, which one is taking more time? So we can simply count the number of instruction which is executed during the running time when we programs runs, okay. So if you see this some example, if you see some basic example here, we are if we see this first code, okay. So total AB, this is a function, but inside the function we are simply running one expression s equal to a plus b and returning the answer, okay. And we are assuming every single line is a one taking 1 second, and single line we are if we calculate the total time, so there are 2 instructions. If we pass any value for this function for the a and b, so only these 2 lines will be executed only 2 times, okay. So this is taking 2 seconds we are assuming, okay. If you see the another program here, we are reading some input, and this is only a single instruction, and in the next line you can see that there is one loop, okay. If we are taking one loop, suppose if we are passing n equal to 10 here, so n equal to 10, and we are running this loop for I in range n. So this loop will start from 0 to 9, and for each value of I, this line will be executed, okay. So you can see that this line for line will also execute 10 times, and this is also executed with 10 times, okay. So that means this part of the program is actually related or depends on this value n. If we change this value n equal to 100, okay, so same things, this line number 3 will execute 100 times, and the next line will also run 100 times, okay. So this part is actually dependent on this n value. So if we calculate the total number of instructions executed when we run this code in the terms of n, okay, so we can calculate. So this is the single one line instructions, this is what this will only execute 1 times, but this part will execute based on the n value. So if we represent like this, so 1 plus 1, and we can write 2n, okay. So 2n we can write, and the last value is single, not dependent on any loop or anything. So this is plus 1, okay. If we are passing n equal to 10, so 1 plus 1 plus 20 plus 1, like this, okay. So these are the total number of steps is executing, okay. So these are the things actually we are checking how many instructions are executing at the running time. So okay, so we have to remove this, sorry.
Sir, can you repeat the same point 1 second? Sorry, I was not able to get it. Please.
Okay, let me check.
This 2n part, sir.
Mhm.
1 plus 1 plus 2n.
Okay, I'm using the okay. So this part, okay, we are assuming that each single line, okay, is taking 1 second, okay. The practical, it is not taking 1 second. Actually, it takes the time in the nanosecond, like this, very small time. But we are assuming to just calculate. Okay, so or we can simply count the number of instruction executed at the running time. Okay, when our program is running, how many instruction are executing actually. Okay, so for this program, if you pass any value of A and B, okay, so 10 for A, 20 for B, okay, only these two lines will be executed 2 times. Okay, so this will execute only 1 time, and this is 1 time. Okay, so total value is fixed. If you pass 100 and 200, still only these 2 lines will execute. Okay, but in the next program, you can see here we are taking some input. Okay, similar to this A comma B, we can change the value for this n. Okay, we can pass any 10, 20, 30, anything. So when we run this code after taking the input, so this is the single line which is not depends on this input value, and it will execute only 1 time. Okay, the next part, okay, this third line, this is a loop actually. So this is running I in range n. So range is given n, so means 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so I is taking the value from 0, then 1, then 2, then till n minus 1. Okay, so if we are giving n equal to 10, that means this loop, this line number 3 will run 10 times. If we are passing 100, then line will run 100 times. So that means this line number 3 is depend on the input value n. Okay, so we can calculate the number of instruction executed for this part. Okay, so if this part is running, next value will also run. This is also inside the loop. Okay, so for 10 times, if this loop is running, line number 3 is running, so line number 4 will also run 10 times. Okay, so all these 2 lines are depends on the input value n. Okay, and last line is totally independent on the input. It is only the 1 time instruction. Okay, so this will always run 1 time. Okay, so we can calculate, suppose n equal to 10. So how many instruction will execute in this program? Okay, so 1 plus 1. Okay, so line number 1, line number 2, 1. Okay, now line number 3 and 4. So we can write in that way. So 10 plus 10.
10. Yes, sir. Yes, I got
Okay.
it, sir. And the last line will be plus 1.
Okay, so this is a fixed instruction for specific input 10. But we can also mention the number based on the n terms. Okay, so we can pass any value of n. So we are just creating equations like this: 1 plus 1, sorry, 1 and plus 2 and plus 1, like this. We can write this. We can pass any value of n, then we can calculate the instruction. Okay, so this is the things how we can calculate the number of instruction. Similar for the next. Okay, so here this is a we are passing some input n. After that, when we are calling this function, so this will run only 1 time, and there are nested loop. Okay, so this loop is running 0 to n minus 1. Okay, and inside this another j loop is also running 0 to n minus 1. That means for each value of I, this second loop will run n times. Okay, and this value will also run n times. Okay, so j is running n times, so this s equal to s plus 1 is coming inside the j loop, and it will also run n times. But how many times the all the loops will run? Actually, if you count the number, this line number 5. So how many total times this line number 5 will run? Can you find the relation? So I equal to 0. Okay, so for I equal to 0, j loop will run 0 to n minus 1. Okay, now I value will increase 1, j will again run 0 to n minus 1. So this is n actually, this is also n. Similar to I equal to 2, j will run 0 to n minus 1 again, that means n. So in that way, I equal to n minus 1. Once again, j will run 0 to n minus 1 equal to n. Okay,
n into n. Huh?
Yeah, n into n. So that means the first, this line number 3 will run n times. Okay, but this line number 4 will run n square time, and line number 5 also run n square time. Okay, and this line number 6 will run only one time. So you can find out the relation based on the input. So how many times this instruction is running actually. So you are finding that n is 2n square plus n plus some constant time. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, like 3. And now you can pass n equal to 10, then you can calculate the number of instructions executed. Okay, so actually the instructions are dependent on the input, how many instructions will execute. So that actually this number of instructions which are executing at the execution times, we want to reduce this to solve the problems. Okay, this is the main goal, to reduce the time. So this is totally dependence on the time. If one instruction is taking one time, 100 instruction will take 100 seconds, like this. Okay, if any problem, one program is executing 100 instruction, okay, and another program is executing 50 instruction, so definitely so second problem is better efficient compared to the other one. So this is the things actually we are focusing in this course, how we can reduce the time, execution time of the code. Okay, so some example is discussed during the lectures. I think you have already watched the videos. So how we can calculate the GCD. So you can see one implementation is given. Okay, so here we are using one loop which is running minimum of m and n. Okay, so if we are passing m equal to 100 and n equal to 70, so this loop will run at least 70 times. Okay, so this is dependent on the smaller value of m and n. Another implementation is given. Here we are just maintaining one list, but we have removed the list. Okay, so but it is not reducing the instruction execution. Okay, here we are just remove the space, some memory space, but still it will running the approx equal number of instruction. Okay, in the next implementation we have just improved something, but still there are some corner case. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yeah. So some implementation is given where you can see that in this case. So this is we are not using any loop. Okay, in this implementation we are not using any loop, but there are some corner case where this code will also executed the same number of times which we have used before. Okay, so the example is given. You can see that if we are passing 1 as a m and 1000 as a n, so what we are doing in the every step, so we are just reducing a minus v. Okay, and we are just using the recursive call, and inside the recursive call we are using a smaller value, and the second value we are passing a minus v. So 1000 minus 1 equal to 999. Okay, so that means this is the one call. In the next call we will pass 1 and 998 in that way. Okay, so in next call we will once again call 1 comma 997. So in that way total 1000 recursive call is required. So in this case, so this is one worst case, or we can say that the which is taking the largest time. Okay, but still this in some normal case it is better in the with the previous compared to the previous one, but some corner case it is not better. Then this is the one more equalate algorithms where we have, so this is the code actually which will always run only the number of digits in the max of m and n times only. Okay, so if you pass any value inside this function, this will always run only this number of digit times of the maximum value of m and n. Okay, so you can see how we can improve the same problem we are solving. We are just calculating the GCD, but the basic approach is performing total n steps. Okay, Then we have improved some bit, and now you can see in the final implementation where we are performing only the steps which is equivalent to the number of digits in the maximum value which we are passing. Okay, so it will definitely take less time compared to the previous implementation. Similar to the prime calculation, you have already seen the prime code before this course also. So we can directly check, we can simply run one loop and we can divide, we can check the divide things. Okay, so and if n is divided by I, okay, so we are just running I loop from 1 to n plus 1. Okay, and we are calculating all factor of this. Okay, after that if we are finding out the factor of n, then we are appending the factor in the FL list, and after that we are checking if our factor is only 1 and n, then we can say that n is prime, otherwise not prime. So you can see that there is one loop is running n times. Okay, so that means if we passing n equal to 1000, so definitely this part will run 1000 times. Okay, so this is taking n proportional time, similar to the another implementation. What we are doing, we just remove the list part. If any time, okay, so if in given range 1 to m plus 1, okay, so okay, this is the different, okay, sorry, this is the another implementation to calculate up to. Yeah, this is the another approach. Yeah, so we have removed the list. If any time, if we are dividing from 2 to n minus 1, okay, so we are dividing n by 2 to n minus 1 by each value we are checking. If any time we are getting this condition is true, that means we have find out the factor of this n, okay, between 2 and n. So that in the case of prime, that should not be possible. So if this anytime this condition is true, that means our number is not prime, so we are directly returning false. Okay, so this improve in some case we are not running the loop completely, we are directly no, in that case we are not using only list, we have removed some space, extra calculation, but still it will also run n times. Okay, so if we are n equal to 1000, this loop will run 1000 times. Okay, we can run this loop from 2 to n by 2. Okay, so this is also enough to check number is prime or not. Okay, because any if value we are taking 100, so that 100 value can be divided by the half of this, like 50. After that it cannot be divided. Okay, so 51 we cannot divide this 100, so no need to run the complete loop 2 to n. Okay, so we can just reduce half of size, so, 2 or n by 2. So we have reduced n by 2 steps, but if we are taking very large value of n, like 1 or 2 lakh, still the steps will be 1 lakh. Okay, so it is also not an efficient way. Terminate after. Okay, so this is also another things. If any time if we are finding out the factors, we can break the loop. Okay, suppose we are starting the loop from 2, 3 and till 100. Okay, and we find out the factor by 3. Okay, so if a number is divided by 3, so no need to check after that. If we find any factor of the numbers, that we can see that number is not prime. Okay, so we can break the loop. So this is one temporary things, but the another things is this efficient approach. We need to check by only this square root of n. Okay, so we can simply find out if we are calculating this 64. Okay, so we need to check simply only 2 to 8. Just check this. This number is divided by 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. If it is divided till this range, then okay. If it is not dividing till by this range, that means 64 is, this number is a prime. Okay, so just find out the square root value and just run the loop with the from 2 to square root value. Okay, so in that way, if you pass any value, if you pass 1020 or if you get 10,000, Okay, so what is the square root value is 100. So only 100 step is required to check the number is prime or not. Okay, so in that way our loop is running square root of n. So this is this is very less compared to the n. Okay, so in that way we can figure out the solution code which is actually running and which is executing less number of steps compared to the others. So the correct actual theoretical way we will discuss from the week 2, how we can represent this time and this complexity, what notation we used, how we calculate the complexity, all the things we will discuss from the week 2, and next week we will discuss in the detail. So this is the basic idea which we are which is discussed in the week 1. Apart from that, only the basic things of the Python. So that basic of the object-oriented exception handling, this type of things. So I think you have, if you have already done the Python course, so you should know all the things. Just revise. Okay. So these are the things. On Friday we will discuss some another problems during the session. So I think Karthik will take. Any other question?
No, sir, done.
Okay. Okay. So this is the week 1. So week 2 will be released on the Friday. So just try to complete all the assignment on the times. Okay. So don't delay the assignments on the last time, like last night, like deadline. Okay. And we will just share the schedule of TA session also, so you can also join the TA sessions to discuss all the deep topics in detail. Okay. If no more questions, so I think we can wind up the question then. Wind up the session.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thanks
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.